Hey, Coach, so excited you found us on YouTube. Couple things. First of all, go subscribe. We put a new video out every day. Not everyone will be the one you want, but it will give you a notification. Hit that little bell. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Videos, resources, mentoring, office hours, one-on-one calls, you name it. We've got it. Let us help give you some banners and put them in your gym. Let me help you do that. Go over and check it out, teachhoops.com. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to the Basketball Leadership Podcast. Coach, how are you today?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm I'm all right. Um, I'm intrigued. The topic today, the gatekeepers of culture. So what do you mean by gatekeeper? That's an interesting It's an interesting topic, I think.
You know, I so when you think of the culture of a team, I think ultimately it's the number one job of a coach is to create their culture. I mean, and culture is an everyday deal. Like we
Yep.
have to be focused on that each and every day. But then who are the gatekeepers of a culture? And I think first and foremost, the coach is a gatekeeper of the culture, but then the other people, and it really starts with players, and your team leaders are critical gatekeepers, and they are gatekeepers in the locker room, the gatekeepers outside of school, and I want to talk about that a little bit, but also the other people that are gatekeepers of your culture are parents, and the role of parents to be that gatekeepers I've found to be really critically important in a lot of different ways. Obviously, you need administration, you need support from your AD and all of that. But, when you're creating a winning championship type of culture, it's not just you. You as a coach have to set that bar, but you have to rely on so many other people to kind of be a gatekeeper of that culture. And just want to kind of talk about that and have get your opinion
I
on
know.
it. But
Before we came on air, we were talking about some of our teams and some of my old teams, and I think back to some of my, like, I've had some really special teams, and there's two places I think. Obviously, I probably haven't changed much as far as how I'm gatekeeping,
yep,
but the special ones, the kids gatekeep, obviously. So it's a
yep,
team. It's a leader led team. But
yep.
I'm telling you, the really special ones is all the parents are on the same page. We're all kind of like we want to do this, and we want to whatever it's going to take, and we're all, and parents are parents. I get it. We all love our kids more than anything else, but the really special groups, you're right. I think it's that triangle. All three of the pieces of the player, the coach, and the parent, we're all on the same page. It's like magic. It's like lightning in a bottle. It's
It
crazy.
is. And just like we want our kids to be selfless, we want them to think we over me, we want them to make the right decisions. I don't care what people say. What our parents tell kids at home, it filters to the team. And so if you've got parents that you can trust that are we first people and see the big picture, and they're not just
Right.
out for their own kid, that becomes contagious
It does.
in your players and your team and your culture. And if you've got parents that are talking about you getting your shots up, or you doing this or you doing that, no matter how good a kid may be at keeping that up, away from the team, it filters in. And so when we talk about being a gatekeeper, obviously our team leaders and leadership is incredibly important. And the coach ultimately has the number one job with this. We have to we have to set our culture and build it each and every day. We've got to talk to our team leaders, but it's getting parents on board with that too. And I think there's a lot of ways to do that. You have to be really proactive as a communicator. You got to be proactive at your pack meeting. You can't let things fester if they are. It's just like with kids, you have to confront things head on. And I just think that concept of being a gatekeeper is one that I really, really like.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I think of a lot of young coaches, at least ones that I've mentored, they don't want that. And it's that courageous conversation you got to be able to have with the kids. But to be honest with you, sometimes I got to have it with the parent too.
Oh,
It's like,
y-
um, if we all want to get on the same page, that is, you're going to ignore it, but it's not going to go away. And
yeah,
and when you're saying one thing and they're going home and hearing another thing, you know, that's the heart. We all got to be on the same page. We all got to be beaten the same way, you know.
And I just think our job as a coach is, and this is like over time, like you really have to think everything that I say when I get that opportunity at that parent athlete meeting, or I get that opportunity in a large group where I'm talking to a group of parents, you know, just like when I'm talking to a group of kids or kids one-on-one, I'm building the culture and what I want. I'm shaping them. I'm molding them with this conversation. And we have to use those moments really purposely as a coach, because you are molding how you want your parents to think. You can't control how they think, but the more you talk about team, the more you talk about concepts that are important to you, the more you can kind of shape the culture. And it's a very subtle, it's an art form. I think it's part of teaching and coaching that's really important that we don't often think about.
Right. No, and yes, I probably spend more time getting ready for that meeting than anything all year. It's like, I just got to make sure everyone knows, you know, and everyone's in the room and everyone's a stakeholder, and here's what we're going to do. And, it's hard because we all love our kids, and we haven't had this discussion, but when I coach my own, it's hard. Like, you're always a dad or a parent or a mom first. And
we could probably do a show on coaching our own kids. We should do a podcast on that.
We should do that.
I'll write that one down.
We should do that at some point. But it's like there's conflicts there. There's like, I tell people there's like it's like the devil and the angel on each shoulder. It's like, which way am I going to go with? But, no, I think that's important. And I think when initially I thought gatekeeper, everyone's probably thinking, well, how you dealing with your locker room? Who's your, how are they dealing with the kid that's, complaining and that kind of stuff? Those are all important, but I think overlooked is that parents, guardian factor that, if we're fighting an uphill battle when we don't have them on the same page as us.
Yeah, and one last piece of that, and it's just give you another angle to it. It's not just parents and kids. I also think of the people that support our program, maybe in the community or behind the scenes. I think we have this guy named Quinn Sweeney who manages our social media account, and the kids know how much that guy puts into our program, and he doesn't have to do or say a lot, but they want to play for him because of what he does. And that's another way that he's a gatekeeper and he doesn't even know it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those people are important too.
Well, it's like the 17 managers I have or whatever. I'd have to ask Nate how many I have at that point. It's like, that is one of the first discussions once I pick my team that we have with the players about, like, let's look at them. They're part of this team. These are all the things that they are sacrificing and doing for you, so you can show them the exact same respect you're showing your parents and me and blah, blah, blah. It's like, we're all on the same. But I agree. It's like, you're not only playing for that, that name on the back, you're really playing for the name on the front,
You bet.
Okay. Anything else, Coach?
No, that's it.
All right. I think that's great. Till next week.
All right. See ya.
Hey, Coach. So glad you enjoyed that video. Hope you did, at least. Let me know how I can help. Join Teachhoops.com. I've been through it all. I've won championships, got a lot of rings. Let me know how I can help you become a better basketball coach, too.